What is going on, everybody? Tyler Brandt back here with another video. And this week we're going from the offensive side to the defensive side of the ball in New England. It feels like I've been talking a lot about the offensive side. I did the Jarrett Stidham preview. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. It's on the channel. Especially since the draft ended. It's only been a couple of videos, but it's been all offensive tailored. So I want to switch it up a little bit, as there are three sides to every game. There are three sides to the New England Patriots. Today we're talking about side two, and that is the Patriots defense. Something that shouldn't be too much of a field of concern. They did lose a lot of guys, but the best guy on the team, Stephon Gilmore's still there. They still have an elite secondary. The pass rush, not too sure where it's coming from next season. Well, that remains to be seen. But today we are going to talk about the linebacking core, and in particular, one player on the linebacking core that I think is the key to the Patriots defense in 2020, especially over the middle of the field. And it's not Donta Hightower, it's not Chase Winovich, it's someone that you may have never heard of because he's had a very small role in New England, although when he's been asked to play and be in a big role, he's done it very, very well. And of course, I'm talking about Ja'Whaun Bentley, the 5th-round pick in the 2018 draft out of Purdue, and the next linebacker up in a lot of people's eyes in New England to take the next step forward and have some real big production in the 2020 season. So again, let's talk today about Ja'Whaun Bentley. Ja'Whaun Bentley, again from Purdue, taken in the 5th round by the New England Patriots. 2018 in the preseason, he is an absolute stud. He's a star in training camp. He carries that momentum in 2018 into the regular season. He plays 3 games in the regular season until he tears his pectoral, and all of a sudden, just like that, his 2018 season is over. However, with that being said, Ja'Whaun Bentley has an 84.5 Pro Football Focus rating against the pass out of any linebacker. That's good for 6th in the league in the Pro Football Focus rating against the pass in those 3 weeks. And that is for any linebacker that has played more than 45 snaps. So, already starting to make a little bit of waves here. And then beyond that, to dive next level, he's got a 28.3 passer rating when targeted in those 3 weeks. And that's good for the best linebacker, #1 in the NFL over that span. So in the 3 weeks he plays before he tears his pectoral in 2018, he's a very, very good linebacker. You already know in 2018, that's when they get off to that real rocky start. They lose to Detroit in that ugly game, the 26-10 game, and he's one of the bright spots. And he kind of is, early in that season, one of the bright spots on that New England team. So already a ton of momentum from his draft to his preseason to the regular season until, of course, he's put on IR. So 2019 comes, he's healthy, he's back on the team, but he's not the only player that's back in New England in the linebacker position. Also, Jamie Collins returns. He comes back from Cleveland where he was traded 2 years ago, and all of a sudden, Ja'Whaun Bentley's role is really, really reduced. He's maybe the 4th, even probably the 5th linebacker on the team behind Landon Roberts and, of course, Van Noy and Donta Hightower and Collins. So all of a sudden that role is really, really reduced. He plays in a few games here and there. He doesn't really have a legitimate role as a linebacker. He plays some special teams plays here and there. But he does manage to have a productive year given a severely reduced role. He has 44 tackles as the 4th/5th linebacker and a pass deflection. So in 2 years in the league, the production's there. He's doing stuff when his number is called, and he's doing them very well. It's just been kind of a bumpy road in New England so far for him to peel out a starting spot and a legitimate spot at that linebacker core. On to 2020 we go, and in 2020, we see the departure of Kyle Van Noy to Miami, Landon Roberts to Miami, Jamie Collins to Detroit. So now, all of a sudden, that linebacking core for Ja'Whaun Bentley is wide open, and not only do these players leave to go to their new homes and wherever they're going, they leave a whole bunch of production. On the screen right now, you'll actually see the Patriots lose 137 tackles, 13.5 sacks, 10 passes defended, 6 forced fumbles, 3 fumble returns, 3 interceptions, 1 defensive touchdown, and that's just with losing Kyle Van Noy and Jamie Collins. If you're going to throw in a Landon Robertson, he wasn't, all over the field, but you add another 29 tackles that he produced and a sack with Landon Roberts also gone to Miami. So you can clearly see there's a huge hole in production, which I think is the biggest question mark going into the 2020 season for the Patriots defense. And one of the answers to that question mark is going to have to be Ja'Whaun Bentley to make this thing work in 2020. Now, of course, he won't be alone. Donta Hightower is probably a forever Patriot, and he's a very good Patriot Ring of Honor, Patriot Hall of Famer. We know all that's coming. But here's the thing. Donta Hightower is just entering his 30s now. He turned 30 this year, which is still young, but in the NFL, especially for a linebacker, you can get a lot of mileage in, by 30. And for him, he's played in 8 seasons now. He was drafted 8 years ago. 7 of those seasons, he played 12-plus games, although he's only played 16 games once. But he has played a bunch of games in 7 of those 8 seasons, including playoff runs, including Super Bowls. So he's got a ton of mileage for him. And ideally, his numbers did reduce a little bit in 2019 when Van Noy and Collins were there. But he still averaged, I think, over 70 tackles, which is great. But he's really become the signal caller, the captain of the defense, making sure everybody's in the right spot. And I think that's more of what he's going to end up doing in 2020. He'll be productive, but his first and foremost goal is to make sure everyone's where they're supposed to be to make that defense thrive. And I think where he does that, Ja'Whaun Bentley's going to have to be your production guy. He's going to have to be the guy that fills up a brunt of that 137 tackles, the brunt of those passes deflected, which he does very well, at least from what we've seen on tape. So I think Bentley's going to have to be your guy to really step up into that role with Donta Hightower as your 2 main linebackers that are on the field for, 70-80% of those defensive snaps. Now, that's not to say that the Patriots have no linebacker depth. I mean, Chase Winovich is going to probably start this year, and he's probably going to get starter snap counts most weeks. Brandon Copeland has starting experience in the NFL. I don't know what level you're going to get from him at this point, but he does have starter experience in the NFL. Josh Uche, who the Patriots drafted this season, he comes in from a Don Brown defense. Chase Winovich, again, came in from a Don Brown defense. You would think that Uche makes that transition fairly well, but he was also Chase Winovich last year, a special teamer. So Uche might just be a special teamer this year until he, understands how the Patriots defense works. Anthony Jennings is the other name that's deeper on that depth chart that really intrigues me. He's a very raw prospect, so I'm not 100% sure. He's another one that could step in 2020 and make an immediate impact. I know Uche and Anthony Jennings are both pass rushers, so ideally those guys make up for your sack numbers. But again, they're prospects. You don't know what you're getting. One of them in Jennings is raw. Behind him, Tashawn Bauer doesn't really move the needle. Shalik Calhoun doesn't move the needle. Terez Hall doesn't move the needle very much. They're, fringe special team guys. So it's going to be up to that group of guys, especially the 2 rookies, to really pick up the production that was left by everyone leaving New England. But I think the guy that takes the brunt of that production and has to step up is Ja'Whaun Bentley. He's shown that he can do it, but now you got to do it for 13, 14, 15, 16 games. And 2020 is the year to do it. The Patriots have a tough schedule in 2020. They play a lot of really good teams, a lot of really good quarterbacks. He's going to be one of the guys at the top of the list that have to stop quarterbacks from throwing the ball. And he's good at it. Like I said, he's had some pretty good games, although he was injured for a lot of his NFL career. That's going to do it for this video. If you think Ja'Whaun Bentley's the next guy, the next, all-world linebacker for New England, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and please subscribe. Every subscriber, I appreciate you joining. I appreciate you watching. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, at The Tyler Brand, on everything. I always respond. I'm always happy to chop it up about the New England Patriots. Until the next video, stay safe, be good. Tyler Brandt, checking out.